Recently, I've been talking about the black pill because of my sub, Imprints, has been going through my black pill videos or revisiting my black pill videos. I know I've talked about it like a little over a year ago. And I actually used the Dark Knight as one of the first videos to actually talk about or explain the philosophy of the black pill. And right after that, I saw a animated version of Batman, of the Justice League, actually. And a scene from a Justice League movie, I do believe I think it was the Battle of the Two Worlds. I'll put it in the description. And in the Justice League movie, there was a battle between Owlman and Batman, the two alter egos from two different Earths. And just in that 5 minutes, it crystallized what the difference between the two sides of the black pill was. Because the black pill is just reality without morals. The red pill is reality, but it still has morals. The black pill is reality without morals, where morals have to be built from the ground up. And Batman has always been the Dark Knight, the utilitarian that's trying to right wrongs in a world whose morals are loose. And he's willing to bend the law or even break the law, cause an outcome. And he's pitted up against his opposite, his direct opposite, which is Owlman. Owlman is also black pill, but Owlman is nihilistic. And the world or the universe is just a bad place because human beings are in it. And he also doesn't have morals, but he does have a cause. And he's willing to kill everybody in the universe to cleanse what he calls cleanse the universe, or correct the wrong that he feels has been done. He is extremely nihilistic. Batman wants to build, Owlman wants to destroy. And you can see just in the dialogue between the two, however slight, about the differences in the black pill, the utilitarian versus the nihilist. So I'm going to play the clip. Hopefully that Warner Brothers will allow me to do a fair use and present this to you, and I'll be back on the other side.
Welcome to Earth Prime. Before there was thought, there was this place, one Earth, with a single history. But with the coming of man came the illusion of free will. And with that illusion came chaos. With every choice we make, we literally create a world. History branches in two, creating one Earth, where we made the choice, and a second, where we didn't. That's the secret of the universe, you know. Billions of people making billions of choices, creating infinite Earths. Some so similar to each other you could spend a lifetime searching for any distinction. Others so radically different, they defy comprehension.
And all of the branches originate here.
Every version of reality balances precariously on this singular Earth. It seems so different from the Earths we know. I can't imagine what series of decisions led to this world hurtling out of its orbit. But I know this. The source of the cataclysm was the same as it always is. Man.
You can't be sure of that. Anything...
You know better. Man is a cancer, and I've chosen to cut out the disease.
You're talking about killing...
everyone who ever lived, who ever will live. I choose to make the only possible real choice.
You're insane.
Does it really matter? There are alternate versions of me that you would find quite charming. From what I gather, we're very much alike. Everything about you tells the tale. Your attitude, your costume, your tactics. They all scream of outrage, despair, vengeance. What terrible wrong was done to set you on this path? It doesn't really matter. Nothing matters.
What are you planning to do? Talk me to death?
Actually, I thought I'd beat you to death. You should have sent your flying man. With his strength, he might have had a chance, but you don't trust anyone else to do what needs to be done. I feel the same way.
If we're really alike, you know this is wrong. You must have been a good man once.
No, not good. Never good. After all, I'm only human. No more debate. I'm going to kill you now, then everyone else.
There is a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked.
It doesn't matter.
Now, the clip that you just saw was from the Justice League, The Crisis on Two Earths. And you see the two sides of the black pill, Batman and Owlman, mirror images of each other. Opposite but alike, which is the black pill. The two sides of the black pill, mirror images of each other. Opposite but alike. The nihilist versus the utilitarian. They see reality for what it is. They accept reality for what it is. But their actions and what they decide to do about it are different. The nihilist wants to destroy, sometimes himself, sometimes everything he can touch. The utilitarian sees the same thing, but he wants to construct. He wants to build. He wants to use morality and use reality to construct a version of an apparent reality that makes sense. Probably doesn't. Probably should have wrote this down to make it more coherent. But as they're going through the fight, and Owlman is telling Batman about how relative reality is. He's saying that there's versions of me that you would find quite charming. And there's versions of reality where life never crawls out of the ooze. In other words, it's all relative. It's all a series of choices going all the way back to the simple one-cell creatures that we call amoeba that became eventually human beings, which is why to destroy it doesn't mean very much. Whereas Batman, as a utilitarian, everything matters. It matters that there's a right or wrong. It matters that you're destroying all these worlds. It matters that right and wrong must be constructed and must be upheld. There has to be a right. There has to be a wrong, because without right and wrong, you don't have a proper reality, and that has to be protected. That has to be constructed, and along the way, some sacrifices have to be made to make sure that that right and wrong and the reality of right and wrong or justice can be preserved. And Owlman is constantly going back and forth with saying it's the same verbiage that a nihilist would say nothing matters, or it doesn't matter what the choice is. It's arbitrary. It doesn't matter what we do right here and right now, because there's a version of us fighting someplace else where a different choice can be made, and it's arbitrary. In our man's mind, he believes that this arbitrary choice, this arbitrary disease he calls choice, is infecting the whole universe. And to save the whole universe, basically, or eliminate this madness, the source of the disease, the source of the chaos has to be eliminated, which is man. If you eliminate man, these choices don't exist, and some other reality will actually form. That's destruction. Change through destruction. The utilitarian is changed by construction, which is why Batman is going to battle with his opposite. He's willing to sacrifice his opposite to make sure that the reality for the vast majority of people stay intact. And the construction that we think of as reality, think of as moral, that kind of thought stays intact, as fragile as it is. And so they're going back and forth, they're beating each other up. And at the very end, when Batman finally wins out and overcomes him, he says something that's very significant, and it's something I always say with the black pill. He said, even though we're alike, he said, you know what the difference between me and you is? We both looked into the abyss, into the stark, naked construction of reality, and you blinked. You couldn't take it. Whereas Batman looked into the abyss and looked into the mess we call reality, and he accepted it. It is what it is, which is the utilitarian part of the black pill. It is what it is. Now, this is what we have to work with. And so we take reality as it is, and we try to build off of this. The owl man, in his last breath before he knew he was going to die, and could have aborted the bomb from going off, put his head down and said, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Nothing matters because to him it's not real, and to end it, even his life, doesn't matter because it's not real either. It's not worth saving. And I know this is an incomplete thought about the black pill, and most people don't look at it that way. And both utilitarianism and nihilism are extreme sides. And they do exist in this world, even though as far as utilitarian black pill is mostly hidden. Unless you look for it, you never know that it's there. Sometimes it shows up as a cop on a beat that violates the rights of a drug dealer to save a life, to run him off the block, to keep his poison from infecting the neighborhood. But that's utilitarian. Whereas the drug dealer on the other side says it doesn't matter. If people want to get high and kill themselves, it's not on him. He's doing it to make himself happy, make himself money. And it doesn't matter that his whole neighborhood is going out, even though it's a smaller version of utilitarianism versus nihilism. It still exemplifies part of the black pill, even in a microcosm. But I don't mean to make this a book or a deep foray into philosophy, because I'm not a philosopher. Even as a Gnostic, you play one on TV, but the thing is that it's not part of my expertise. So, but I just gave my thoughts on it. I'm sure there are people that will weigh in, but this is something that was coming, and I just wanted to add my 2 nickels to the pot. But this is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.